as a core. And that does mean that they've at least got the mix-up here, because some teams you talk about it, it's like, ooh, this hero is a flexible hero, it can be played in multiple different roles, and then they only play it in one role. So, we'll see how this goes. They're already dipping into their reserve time a little bit, which is slightly concerning. I don't know if they're deciding what exactly they want against the ET Mirana. I could see something like you know, Bane getting picked here, strong laning support potentially, but no, IG just gonna go straight for the Brewmaster. So looking like pretty early, pretty active, pretty aggressive as far as their lineup is concerned. LFY don't necessarily have the most reliable lockdown to be able to kill the Brew before he gets his ultimate off, so that's at least nice for IG here. And I'm just gonna take 1 second to blow my nose, since apparently I'm under the weather. I didn't realize. Did just fine yesterday, but fortunately there's only 3 more rounds for today. I'm going to be covering this match, and then I'll also be covering CDEC versus FTD, which is not that important. FTD would like that win, but I don't think that's going to be a hugely impactful match. Probably a little bit one-sided. And then LFY versus FTD, which is actually the other big important match for LFY. So plenty of LFY action, and then I'll also be bringing you guys any tiebreakers if they do end up happening. I think we need to wait a little bit to see if there are going to be any ties. The middle of the pack is still pretty close. Like LFY have 2 losses, Keen have 3 losses, Young Dumb have 3 losses. So that 4th spot could be pretty hotly contested. Unless LFY win both of their games, in which case we would just have, I think, like a massive 4-way tie at the top, which should have everybody at 4 and 3 maybe, or like 5 and 2, something like that, and then all the teams that they beat down the bottom. That's one possibility. But, excuse me, 1 second here. Alright, hopefully I'm clear now, at least until the end of the draft. Maybe once I get going, things will dry up. But anyway, we got Faceless Void being banned out, we got DK being removed. Lots of focus on the cores here on both drafts. A couple of supports being banned on the LFY side, but really a lot of core focus. I'm a little bit surprised to see the Void and the DK bans. I know that LFY do like playing those heroes, but I'm not sure if they've been the most successful in this qualifier. But there is something to be said for forcing LFY to play a little bit outside of their comfort zone. And they would probably like to have some kind of frontline, given that they've got the Mirana here as some kind of core. Not clear if it's going to be position 1, position 3. We do occasionally see it pos 2. So there are certainly some options, and I like this Luna ban a lot. And the Phantom Lancer ban. They're not necessarily well equipped to deal with the PL, and the Luna kind of fits in with the theme of just early active kind of pushing from IG. Hopefully they can get some decent decent counter picks from their 2 support positions, maybe something like a Disruptor coming in. This is actually quite a good Disruptor game. The hero hasn't been as popular recently because I think it's a little bit risky as far as lanes are concerned, but this game it's actually really good. Being able to cancel the ET Stomp with a Glimpse. Glimpse is good against Mirana. You've also got the Silence for Lockdown there. Makes her much easier to kill. And then against the Witch Doctor, I feel like people underrate the ability to cancel the Death Ward from a safe distance. And it's not just about the Glimpse, but you can also just clip somebody with the very edge of your Static Storm and cancel, say, a Fiend's Grip or a Death Ward that way. So could be pretty good Disruptor game. If we're talking about other popular supports right now, there's still, say, something like a Naga in the pool. Skywrath Maid, surprisingly, still in here. This is looking like it might be their dual lane at the moment. I think it might be Brewmaster Leshrac dual lane in the off lane, so then they're probably still looking for their 5. For the safe lane, they're position 1, and then whatever their mid laner is going to end up being. But you just grab the Wind Rangers, and this is still pretty wide open. This could be 3 cores, this could be 2 supports and 1 core. They've got tons of different ways that they could choose to run this. Wind Ranger is okay here. I think Wind Ranger is just generally pretty good right now. The fact that I keep seeing Wind Ranger just cast Focus Fire on a support and then dive him under the tower and just kill him off, to me says a lot about the state that Wind Ranger is. And that's with like no items. She just buys phase boots and she just gets free kills on the enemy supports all game because they can't really do anything about her. So, okay, we got PA picked up. This is... I don't even know if this is going to be that good of a PA game. Like, there's already some burst... There's quite a bit of burst magical damage coming in from IG. And the haze is always going to be annoying for PA. I mean, a little bit later on down the line, you're going to buy a BKB, and that certainly helps, but... You're going to have to buy a BKB really early to play against the Brewmaster. That's just the thing about Brewmaster as a hero. It's that if you're playing carry, you just have to buy BKB. Either you're getting haze non-stop and you just can't do anything because of that, or you're just getting cycloned, and there's not really a whole lot that your team can do about that. And now IG are grabbing even more burst damage. I like this a lot as well. It gives them some more lockdown against the Marana. That root from the Searing Chains is going to be very annoying, and the control really is not there from the LFY side to deal with him. They do have decent damage, so if he gets clipped by a random arrow, or if he does happen to get locked down, then I think they can kill him, but in terms of actually getting that initial lockdown, they are not looking great. So I am definitely favoring the IG draft at the moment, but things could still change. Maybe this last pick is going to bring everything together. They could really do with a bit of catch. This is the one thing about picking something like a Witch Doctor when you've got T as your position 4, who isn't really bringing super solid lockdown. I think I would have preferred to maybe see something like a Lion in this position, just to help deter against these more elusive heroes a little bit more, but hindsight is 2020, of course. We got Venomancer being banned out, so looks like LFY's read is that these two are the supports, and IG are just looking for their position 1, which will hopefully be some kind of building damage or siege hero along the lines of this Luna or Venomancer ban that we've seen come out. And Huskars. IG are like, okay, we know that we have the better draft at the moment. What desperation pick can they go for that's somehow gonna salvage this? I guess they're putting... I don't even know who they're putting mid against the Ember Spirit. Maybe the Marana, and then they pick something else in the off lane, which would... I don't even know what that would be. Pangolier feels really bad. Doom could be okay, gives them some more initiation that they're kind of lacking. Good against the Brewmaster and the Ember. And Invictus Gaming, alright, it's not actually going to be a big building damage hero, but it is still some physical damage output, as they just grab the Bloodseeker, which is also insanely good against the Marana and the PA in this game. I don't know how either of these two heroes are going to play. So for LFY, what do you pick? Well, they seem to have made up their minds already, and they're going to go for Lina. Okay, so good matchups against the Ember and the Bloodseeker. Gives them some bursts. They have absolutely no front line. Their 3 cores are all squishy as hell, at least in the early stages, so that is very concerning. And I guess we'll just have to see how they do in the lanes. I feel like this Brewmaster Wind Ranger lane is going to do fantastically. The Bloodseeker Lesh should do just fine. And the big scary thing about this Bloodseeker is with such uneven lanes... I mean, I think that Lena's going to do pretty well against the Ember on mid, but I don't think XSS is going to get completely crushed. But with such kind of uneven laning matchups, this Bloodseeker is going to go crazy. Like, the Wind Ranger is going to be harassing people, so they're low. There's going to be lightning spam from the Lesh, keeping people low. His Witch Doctor is going to have his work cut out for him, just keeping everybody's health up so that the Bloodseeker doesn't have insane thirst stacks all game. Alright, so let's switch to some overlays, make sure I'm on the right one. Yep, alright, there you go.
Prepare for battle.
But yeah, so it looks like it is going to be... Oh, it's actually going to be Lesh playing with the Brewmaster. And they're going to have the Wind Ranger playing with the Bloodseeker. The one nice thing about doing it... I guess it's about to split both ways. They're going to have a stun in both lanes, pretty much no matter what. Got a little bit of tipping going on here. Why not? Everybody building up those levels. I don't know. I kind of like... It's interesting how the tipping's been going in the China qualifier. You know, in the majors and whatnot, it's all about the BM tips, and in these games, it actually seems relatively mannered. So that's always kind of nice to see. All right, so LFR, what's their plan here? They're going to be running what? The Elder Titan plus the Inflame Marana. Super, of course, heading mid on the Lina, and then Monet is going to be on this PA. I mean, PA is at least a decent hero where if you're getting kind of shut out of the lane, you can still grab some CS here and there with the Stifling Dagger, but it just does not look like an easy PA game to play here at all. So, alright, looks like LFY are going to be able to snag 2 Bounty Runes up on the top side. Is there going to be a battle for this bottom one? No, Monet not going to get involved at all there. So just 2 apiece, and we'll see. LFY, are they going to keep this tri-lane with all 3 heroes up here? No, Yao is definitely heading bottom. So we'll see what these two are going to be able to do against the Bloodseeker Lesh. I am not feeling optimistic. I think the Bloodseeker might even be able to spam some Blood Rages on the Lesh and just increase his damage output that little bit more. As far as the mid lane block is concerned, looking very even. Big problem for Ember in this matchup is he just gets right-clicked so much, and his Flame Guard is insanely difficult to use, but he's also a good catch-up hero, so I don't think he's really too concerned. Already got the silence skill up from aggressive down bottom, just zoning out Monet. Yao actually going for the heal right off the bat, interestingly enough. But as you can see, Baboka's just doing his thing as the Wind Ranger, going to work with his Orb of Venom and putting that damage in to help out aggressive a little bit further down the line. But yeah, I think XXS is going to have to like grab level 5 and then head into the jungle pretty quickly. Has already picked up 1 point in the Sleight of Fist, maybe hoping to dodge some spells. Witch Doctor getting run down. We do actually have 1 point up in the Split Earth at the beginning of the game here for Q. Do sometimes see the lightning initially, but I'm also a fan of the Split Earth build. Super, can you get all these last hits under the tower? Misses that one. I've started to wonder in the dual lane meta if it's actually worth it for people to keep putting down their wards right at the beginning of the game, because it just doesn't feel like anybody is actually rotating. If you look at the way that these lanes are being played at the moment, nobody is really off the map at all. It doesn't really happen. So is there that much value? I mean, both of these wards are giving a little bit of vision. Well, this one's at least giving a little bit of vision to the opposing high ground, so I like this one, but it feels like maybe the supports could be holding on to one or both of those initial wards so that they actually have more vision once it gets to the point that people are actually leaving the lanes, because it's just so obvious right now if somebody is out of the lane and if they're up to something. But anywho, a little bit of a side pull here run by Q, so they get the lane all the way back, and this is so scary when you're playing against the Lesh. If he has all of this room to be able to chase you and just keep on spamming lightning, that's where LFY could be in some really big trouble. So bit of a concern for them that they weren't able to interrupt that pull through off. But we're going to be looking for a stomp here on Baboka. Good shackle from Baboka, canceling that stomp, and the first blood is actually going to be down bottom as Yao ends up falling. Aggressive with the 1-1-1, should be able to heal up just fine. Even gonna Blood Rage? Yeah, sure you will. Can't really get punished for it at all. And mid lane, ooh, nice slight dodge on that Light Strike Array. XXS seeming pretty familiar with this matchup, still doing just fine in terms of CS. Has a salve that might get forced out here, leading with the double Null Talisman, giving him a good old right click in, but he's doing pretty well. And all 3 cores on the Dire side are actually farming nicely compared to their counterparts. SRF doesn't really seem to have a scratch on him. Yeah, 1-1-1 build at the moment, doing his best, but they haven't been able to stop Q running these non-stop side pulls, and this is really annoying. Like, every single time he manages to do this, it just puts the Witch Doctor in so much more danger. But I guess that's also the reason that he can't come and contest it. If he was coming over here to try and stop it, he would probably just straight up die. So I don't really know what their solution is here. Maybe they needed to block this camp themselves. But they are going to need their Lina to rotate really hard this game. Ooh, he finds himself a regen. It does immediately get the spell, but Aggressive is now over here. And yeah, with no TP, looking very dead. Nice stomp from Afu. Is going to help keep him alive, and he will be able to salve up. But knowing that the Elder Titan is away from top lane, Baboka is going to become relentless in terms of this harassment. Inflame just trying to soak a little bit more experience behind that tree. But yeah, the lane's even pushing forward, so Inflame getting zoned out a little bit. Nice arrow. Bit more harassment being traded, but there's still plenty down here. Aggressive going to go for the TP out as they have jumped in on him, but no additional lockdown. Nice stun from Q. Aggressive to head all the way back to the fountain, and LFY should be able to claim control of this in a decent position. Mirana's still got more leaps. They're just going to force them out of her. Yeah, IG not going to let him just sit and grab more farm in this lane. And 5-minute rune actually coming up in just a second. Baboka looking like he should be able to secure this one. Inflame maybe suspecting the move is going to come over here and try and grab this one for himself. He's got one last leap. He needs to be really careful about how he uses it. Actually spitefully denies the rune, but now he's in really big trouble. Silence coming through. He gets blood raged up. Going to try for the TP out. Baboka has already used the shackle shot, and that is going to be Inflame heading all the way back to base. So pretty musical lanes thus far. XXS had already used the Side of Fist. Now he's going to get stunned up, but Q has his back. XXS even gets the chains out onto 2, setting up for Q to finish off this kill. One more right click is going to do it. XXS actually even the one to secure it. Nice shackle from Baboka. The end of the follow-up stun from Q. He has been so on point with these shackle shots off of the creeps so far this game, and IG showing exactly why they are at the top of the group at the moment. I think there were some slight doubts, at least for me, on that very first day of the group stage for them, where they weren't really looking that hot, and it was like, oh, why was this team invited to the, not that they shouldn't have been invited directly to the regional qualifiers, but they were the only one that made it directly to regionals, and they're definitely showing some really nice form. But this Lina is going to have to put in a ton of work this game, I think, to get everybody caught back up. Monet going toe-to-toe with Baboka here. Baboka needing to be a little bit careful. And we do have a rotation from the Elder Titan and the Witch Doctor. This really has to result in a kill for them. And we'll see. I think they should be able to get aggressive here. They don't actually have that much damage. He's got some wand charges. 1 point in the Maledict. Aggressive just running back towards the tower. Pops the wand, and unless the Maledict kills him, I think he's going to be okay. Might need to pop the salve in between ticks. Nope, down he goes. Alright, Q looking for the turnaround along with Baboka. And that is going to be the end of that. Alright, so I was a little bit worried that that gank was not going to work, but fortunately just enough damage on the LFY side to be able to bring him down. Monet doing his best to farm up against the Brew, actually catching up pretty nicely here. Somewhat surprised that IG let up the pressure on bottom lane as early as they did. SRF threatening somewhat. The PI drops too low. He's got the primal split to be able to grab that kill, but lots of people rotating around here. XXS already heading into the jungle. Q is going to be taking over the mid lane for a little bit. And they are actually rotating their Ember with an Arcane run over towards top. This could be a super easy triple kill. He's got the triple remnant. They're going onto the Bloodseeker, but who's actually catching who? He jumps in. Now he's got the chains out. Aggressive. Lurking through the trees. TP out attempted from Alpha, but he's not going to make it. Yao. Looks like he might also get brought down. It's just enough damage from IG. And great place to be for the Ember Spirit as they went for that attempt. They didn't even really have any information on the fact that that gank was coming, but just happened to be right place, right time, and with the right rune to be able to find some easy kills. IG still holding on to this little bit of a lead in the early game. Monet hasn't shown us just yet what exactly the build is going to be here. And like I said, still finding some farm down here, even though the Brewmaster is being a little bit of a nuisance. Does Brew even have a point in Haze yet? Or it does have 1 point. Oh, jumping in. XXS. dodging the stun, actually setting up onto the Lesh. Super, can he stay alive here? He doesn't have the mana for the Laguna Blade. XXS has a couple more remnants and still has this haste. Gonna go jumping forward, trying to save Q. Gets the chains out. Q is gonna end up dropping to the Maledict. Inflame even jumping forward just to secure that with the auto attack. A well worth it 1-for-1 on mid. They force some rotations, take some pressure off the Bloodseeker, and they get the all-important Lina kill, who really is going to be the big comeback hero for LFY. The Lina's going to have to make rotations while the PA kind of catches back up, and IG hunting for even more. They really want to use the Primal Split here. Can they find a Shackle shot? Monet getting slowed down a little bit. There's the Shackle. SRF, do they even need to use the Split here? Nope, back-to-back crits. Easy peasy. No LFY supports in the neighborhood. Afu's just babysitting at mid, and Yao is wandering down towards bottom. Oh, Super with the rotation. He has to land this stun to find the kill, and no hesitation whatsoever from Brewmaster. Just gonna go straight in. Yao gonna do his best with the heal. Super already dropping kind of low. Do they have another boulder soon? Yes, they do. Maintaining the vision. He tries with the stun, but looking like Super's going to end up dropping. And now they've also got aggressive rotation. He drops the Rupture onto the Witch Doctor. SRF finds a double. The TP's going to end up being cancelled. And Invictus Gaming looking like they should be able to secure... Oh, maybe they can secure this tier 1 tower down here at bottom. They've got a couple of heroes backing off at low HD. You just limping back to base. XXS has just picked up some power treads so far. Not 100% clear what his build is going to be this game. Maybe just the Maelstrom. Pretty decent Yule's game. I think with the Yules he should be pretty much completely unkillable. It also gives him some more options against heroes like against ET, where you jump in on them, you use the Searing Chains, and then after that he starts channeling up the Stomp and you kind of have to dodge, but in that case you can just Yules him. So Monet is just going for a Vanguard. Not feeling very happy with the state of affairs here. Knows this team that needs him to be fight ready sooner rather than later. Arrow attempted, and I say attempted, but it's actually a nice connection onto Q. Set up with Afu with the Stomp. Some rotations coming through from IG. XXS going to go chasing in. He can't afford to use the chains right away because he does have a TP scroll available. Inflame jumping out of there. It looks like he will be okay. Nicely done. Baboka also getting stared down by Monet at mid. They're going to take a little bit more of a catch to find that kill, so he'll be okay. And Monet's still hunting. Nobody is down bottom at all. Tier 1 tower did end up being claimed. SRF ready with the Blink Dagger picked up. Only 20 seconds to go until his next Primal Split. And Super looking somewhat squishy here at mid. But no, looks like no play to be found just here. Probably a smoke somewhere. Yeah, they got a smoke on the Lesh. Maybe go and link up with the Bloodseeker over at top, find some kills up there with the Primal Split, and then try and take that tier 1 tower. It'll also depend on the reaction to this Windrunner pushing at mid. They're trying to see if anyone's going to turn up here. But, okay, no, the smoke is heading top. So maybe a little bit of a fake out. They might leave the Windranger there while this rotation connects over at top lane. They're looking for aggressive in the trees. But again, it's this question of who's found who. The Rupture's going to come out onto the Mirana. She does have a TP to get out, but might need to use it sooner rather than later. Aggressive is still fairly tanky. He's stuck on int treads, but he gets that immediate kill. SRF jumping in, doesn't even need to use the split. Q's just going to run down Afu, and Aggressive grabs another little heal for his trouble. Oh man. This is really not looking good for LFY, but I don't even know if this is necessarily that they're playing badly. I think they just have Garbo matchups. Oh, Super does manage to grab himself a kill onto Baboka, but he is going to get punished instantaneously, and SRF is even going to look for more. He's sending the Storm Panda out, and they've also got pretty high mobility on the Ember to be able to chase for kills. Looks like he won't be able to find anything, so not too bad for LFY. It's only the one kill out of the Primal Split. Aggressive. Blood Rage at a somewhat inconvenient time. Monet needs a bunch of crits to find this kill though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Almost 6 hits with no crit. Aggressive, is he going to survive? Can he at least get the Rupture off before he goes down? No. He will finally be finished off. Q chasing this kill, but it's actually the power shot snipe from Baboka that will finish it. And IG again punishing this Brewmaster pick, looking fantastic this game from SRF. He's got the top net worth. He's 5-0-2. They picked it super early, but LFY just feels like they do not have the tools to deal with it at all. They didn't have the tools to pressure it in the lane. They don't have the tools to be able to really burst him down now. And unless they can get through the wall that's presented by this Brewmaster, I don't know if they're ever going to be able to take down a tier 1 tower or win themselves a team fight. And PA, right, deciding against the Vanguard at the end of the day, is going to be going for the Hood instead. Which makes sense. There is a ton of magical damage coming from the IG side. He probably got sniped by that power shot to the back of the head and was like, wait a second, why am I buying Vanguard here? I think the Vanguard does... It is a little bit more useful for PA in general, in terms of the fact that you don't really mind buying Abyssal Blade. But in terms of desperately needing an item to survive this game, I think the Hood is certainly going to help. Though I'm not a big fan of the Hood, because I feel like as PA you should just be playing for your BKB. Like, I wish he would just maybe buy like a Yasha into a BKB, something along those lines. Just a small farming item and then go BKB. I don't know how much this Hood is actually really going to do for him. It's not going to connect on Baboka. LFY fishing for a kill up here. They're really maintaining a lot of control over this top side of the map, though unfortunately this Observer Ward looks like it is going to end up getting de-warded. XXS still just contentedly farming on the bottom side. Does Lina have her Yule Scepter just yet? Looks like it is getting delivered right this second, and Aggressive just working towards his Blade Mail. Has gone for the 8 armor talent, which you've been seeing quite a lot recently. Everybody just getting the armor and the HP. The longer you survive, the more chances you have to spam blood, the more opportunities you have to re-engage into the fight. Big smoke from LFY makes its way forward. It's smoke on smoke. Who's going to find who? Can he actually get the ultimate off? He jumps straight into it. No, not quite fast enough. And now the lockdown comes in from Super. That paralyzing cast, just perfect. Looks like they do actually have the ability to deal with the Brewmaster, and LFY will find 2 quick kills. Quite a bit committed for that, but they also have relatively low cooldowns on the whole. So, oh my god, this Observer and Sentry are both just out of range of the Sen. That feels so bad. They might have even seen, I think those wards may have gotten planted like mid-fight, but yeah, it was just well, whoever planted that was just a little bit off the mark. I would anticipate that IG are still going to be looking for a fight now, so they still have the Primal Split, so it's still kind of go time for them. And Brew is just going to be going straight BKB after what just happened. Not going to risk anything. Yeah, Baboka, quick D-ward. He's going for a blink this game on the Wind Ranger. Has picked up some Arcane Boots and gone for the Mana Regen talent, which I think is a little bit out of the ordinary, but he does have some heroes on his team. Ooh, Arrow Sails. He does have some heroes on his team that really want him to build Arcane Boots. I think the Bloodseeker especially doesn't really want to buy any Mana Regen of his own, but needs a little bit to just help out. And a little bit of extra mana goes a long way in terms of being able to grab extra farm with the Blood, right? But, okay, LFY stabilizing a little bit. I think the PA situation is still cause for concern, but the Lina doing very well in terms of levels. Now level 14. Gonna have the Shadow Blade before too long. IG with another one of these smokes. They didn't manage to take that top tier 1 last time around after they bailed out Aggressive, so I think they're hoping for it this time. Smoke's gonna get broken on Aggressive, actually. They see him, but is that gonna be enough to save Inflame? He leaps into the trees, but that just drags the Shackle along with it, and the Baboka will quickly finish the kill. And you pops a Sentry Ward up there. Not really very meaningful. XXS down at bottom. We'll be looking towards Super. Needs to be careful about how he plays this, though. Needs to outplay a little bit, and he outplays him hard. That Sleight of Fist dodge, absolutely perfect on the Light Strike array, but now does he have enough left to actually finish the kill? He's used all of his remnants. Oh no. Well, it looked impressive at the very least, and it is going to keep the Lina away from this top fight, so 4v4 at the very best. They're controlling the PA up in the air. Witch Doctor trying to channel in the trees. Q tries to finish him off, but it looks like it's actually going to be Yao who has the last laugh. And IG on the run out of there. Can they get off one more tornado from the Storm Panda? No, SRF doesn't even get the blink off immediately. That's cause for concern. And now the Earth Splitter as well, also chunking him down pretty low. Aggressive deciding that he can't really do anything. And one last punch is going to finish him. I don't even know what really happened to IG there. Actually, Super is just going to go and take this mid-tier 1. So it looks like not that concerned about the pressure from the Ember Spirit. That was very weird. And this tier tower survives at 60 HP, so they can pretty easily deny it later. Somehow it just feels like Wind Ranger wasn't at that fight. Did he die, or was he busy? Didn't find another kill or anything. Alright. So LFY gonna erode that lead just that little bit more. I think they have seen, yeah, they've seen this Lina Shadowblade. This Ob Sentry is actually doing so much work for IG at the moment. What is their next big round of items? The Primal Split level 2 is going to be a pretty big deal for them. Ember is just rushing straight Mjolnir, and now going in onto Inflame. He's chasing him down. He's got one more Remnant, but I think he's also picked up a Blink Dagger. Alright, so Exodus is putting on a decent amount of pressure, constantly shoving out this bottom wave. We're going to go looking for him, but not really going to find him. And IG would love to take this mid-tier 1 if they could, but probably have to wait until the next Primal Split for that to happen. And Alfu, feeling the lack of lockdown a little bit, is going to be going for a Rod of Atos. I think it's pretty sweet. I would also imagine that XXS, he wants this Mjolnir so that he can throw it on his Brewmaster, or the throw it over on the Bloodseeker. Lush dies up top. Some action for this double damage, but Boka's going to grab, but he doesn't have Focus Fire. He does have another Wind Run up now. Needs to be a little bit careful though. Inflame sizing up this situation as SRF is also running over. He's got the Blink Clap Primal Split, but nicely done from Super as he does manage to land the stun, and they should actually be able to kill off SRF here before he gets the ultimate off. They burst him down, and now LFY, they found their moment. They're looking for more. Wind Ranger shouldn't be able to escape. Super killing spree. XXS turns up to this fight. They kill off the Witch Doctor, but he's forced to disengage. Jumping in pretty deep against 5 heroes, finds the opportunistic pick-off, and then gets out of there. Looks like IG might have to wait around for their 2 BKBs. I really didn't think that they were going to have the means to keep on bursting this Brewmaster like this, but it does seem to be happening. He did opt for the 30 damage talent instead of the 200 health. I'm personally a pretty big fan of the 200 HP and the 20% magic resist, just in terms of making sure that your ultimate always goes off, but I'm not even sure if the extra 200 HP would have made the difference in that situation. They threw everything at him, and the ET aura is already starting to feel relatively impactful. Feels like the ET is actually doing a pretty good job of getting right in on the fight, and that's really beefing up the Lina's magical damage. So IG back to farm stations, but they are not the ones in the lead anymore. Marana, Inflame hoping for a sneaky pickoff. Maybe gonna wait for Baboka to go for this deny before he tries for it. Oh, manages to land the arrow. 3 second stun. I don't think that's going to be quite long enough. Baboka's going to be okay. And IG, is this another smoke? This might be their last smoke for a little bit. I feel like they've already used 4 or 5 smokes at this point in the game. And it is 20 minutes. Still a lot of tier 1 towers standing, but it has been pretty back and forth in terms of the kills. IG really dictating that early game. LFY coming right back and getting a bunch of kills on the board as they look towards this tier 1 tower. Baboka already dead up in the trees. They're going to jump in on top of the Lina, tries to save herself for a little bit with the Yule. The stomp might be able to help, but no, it's not in time. IG finding the right angle. LFY a little bit split, not all playing together. Apu reveals himself with the Earth Splitter. I don't know what that was about. I guess he just wanted to do a little bit of damage before he went down. Figured that they knew what was going on, but instead it just ends up being a little bit awkward. He wasn't even trying to send it towards the creep wave or anything. He just dropped it on the trees and then sat there. Alright, that was a very big pickoff on the Lina. Who actually got that last hit? So that was XXF. So is that already... No. So he's not even going to be going for the full Mjolnir here. He's also going for a BKB. So triple BKB is going to be the timing for IG. Does PA have Desolator? She does. And the 4 Armor Corruption talent. So pretty big damage coming out of the PA at this point. Baboka looking for something down here at bottom. They're going to be going for Inflame. Jump forward Shackle is nice. They need the follow-up from XXS. They should also have the chains. No! He doesn't find the right target. There were too many creeps alive. Inflame's jumped over into the trees. Still gets chased down and will be finished off. That got a little bit awkward for IG there, but still an easy pickoff, easy kill, and are they going to be able to segue this into an objective? Still haven't even really seen the Bloodseeker get that involved, but give it another 800 gold, and I think we'll see aggressive come and make some plays. Just playing for the BKBs. Lina also playing for a BKB. Super actually already has his completed, so no longer has to worry about the getting cycloned or the shackle. Actually, a very good BKB game for him. Ember also not going to be too much of a concern at that point. And PA. Here's the thing about buying the hood. Like, have we actually seen the hood really do anything for PA? I would argue no. And is the hood really going to matter that much once he gets BKB? I would also argue no. So, personally, not a big fan of this. Q is going for an Aeon disc. Oh, Baboka, alright, offers himself up. Super will gladly take that one. Laguna to secure. Yao and Monet were even running a little bit further forward looking for something. I don't know. I get that Q can get really easily bursted here, but I don't get what he does after the disc. Q and chase. XSS is here to try and help out. He did decide for the Mjolnir at the end of the day. Q does just manage to get the TP out. XSS looks like he should be fine. They're still chasing for him, but he's got the blink. He's going to get out of range.
Radiant's middle tower is under
I don't know.
attack.
I don't think I like this Aeon disc very much. Unless he feels like he needs to be the one to run in the fights first to give vision. Maybe that's the idea, but it feels like under most situations where his disc gets popped, he just straight up dies anyway. And he doesn't do any damage while the disc is active, so it's not even like, oh hey, I'm getting a few seconds of Pulse Nova off. Would much prefer to see Yules, Force Staff, like maybe even a Solar Crest. This game could be decent. Hell, even a Ghost Scepter. It's not going to help you that much against the like burst damage, but it is going to help you against a lot of the right clicks. But we'll see. Maybe Q just wants to make sure that he stays alive to spam a few more lightning storms just to give his team the opportunity to continue chasing for kills. Inflame's going BKB. Everyone's just buying BKB. It'll be really interesting to see how the battle of the BKBs ends up going. The Wind Ranger Blink Shackle Shot could be super impactful. Bursting somebody down before they get their BKB off. In terms of other hard lockdown, there isn't really anything else that beats BKB. Like, there are hard stuns, there's a Light Strike Array and stuff. Could get a Light Strike Array out of Invis, potentially. That's something to watch out for, but other than that, I feel like in terms of beating BKB, IG are a little bit better off. That, and they've also got the Rupture, so even with BKB, I think it is going to be pretty difficult for the Mirana and the PA to be able to play in these fights. But LFY going for the smoke. Double damage. They've got tons of minus armor as well. This is a pretty sneaky Roshan, and it looks like IG don't really suspect that it's going on. Getting caught asleep at the wheel a little bit, and this is going to be a really big deal for LFY. All of their heroes very solid with Aegis. They are going to be giving it to Monet. XXS just going to be going for a Shiva's Guard. And Lina's already level 20. Oh, man. That is scary. Already has the Fiery Soul. She's doing tons of damage. Even has enough gold to maybe pick up another damage item in just a second, which is going to be very scary. Could easily see a Crystallis or something coming out. Or he could even just go Hex. I don't like this Shiva's. I am really not a fan of the Shiva's Guard here. I would really much prefer to see a Hex than a Shiva's. I just don't know how much he's actually going to get right-clicked in these fights. And if the Bloodseeker is on top of him, right-clicking him, I don't know if the Shiva's is going to save his life. That would be my one objection to Super's build here. I think otherwise, it's great. I do think the BKB is important. You could even consider a Lincoln Sphere in this situation. There are some fairly low commitment Lincoln's poppers on the IG side, but there's also some really high impact spells that you can potentially dodge. XXS gonna end up revealing the smoke as tried to plant a ward up on the high ground. They're gonna get a quick D ward on this sentry, but LFY looks like the jig is up and not gonna be able to really get anything out of this. And the IG seem to kind of know what's going on. SRF is just charging forward, though. He's got his BKB, needs to make sure that he gets it off. It actually just goes straight into the primal split. This is a bit of a split fight as well from LFY. They're just going to leave Yao for dead, it looks like. We're going to come flying in, does catch under the one Panda. They're focused down off the BKB already being popped by the Bloodseeker. They're looking towards the PA. She pops her BKB. The Rupture not coming out onto the lead, but they've lost the Windrunner. Super just getting left behind for the time being. Can't keep on running because of the Rupture. XXS diving really deep. Everybody's hungry for Yao's blood, but I think IG may have just overextended, and this could end up being a fight for LFY. SRF is going to pop his BKB, but the right-click damage coming through from the PA. Aggressive, getting in there with the auto attacks, but this is only life number 1 for PA, and Inflame is just standing his ground, going for the kills. Aggressive's going to be able to tap the Shrine and reset, but they've still got vision up here. That ward that they planted a little bit earlier. SRF now a 2-man shackle from Baboka after the buyback. This could be the turnaround that IG were looking for. They dragged the fight out after the BKB durations. They did spend 2 buybacks on both of the supports, but the area of the fight ends up favoring them. They fought right next to the Shrine. They had places to TP into, and after all is said and done, it is going to end up being an IG win. They lose 0 cores, they get the Aegis, they get the PA. They also managed to get the kill over on the Mirana, and Luna just kind of nowhere to be found in that fight. Super got ruptured, and then he just had to sit there. Baboka looking super dead. Yeah, see it. Oh, need some more magical damage. Just too many misses. Can he actually blink away? What is even happening? That was what, Haze and Windrun? Well, first Windrun, then the Haze kicked in afterwards. Alright, well at least they got the kill in the end. Super's still looking decent. But I don't know what the Shiva's changes about how that last fight played for him. And there isn't anything else that they can use to pop the Lincolns through BKB. So if he went Lincolns, he's then rupture proof, which I think is pretty sweet. Aggressive grabs a Maelstrom, but doesn't want a full Mjolnir, is instead going to be the one to buy the AC for his team. SRF also looking towards some auras. He's going to be going for a Vlad's. And still a very close game by the numbers. In terms of the late game, I'm not actually sure who I favor. This PA still has a ton of room to grow. She's still going to get a lot stronger, but I feel like the same can also be said. The same can be said of Lina, but the same can also be said of the Ember Spirit, the Bloodseeker. A lot of it is going to be how these two teams manage their BKBs, what kind of initiations they manage to get. But see, I think this is the right call. Inflame is just queued up a Hex, and I completely agree with it. I really, really wish that the money that was spent on the Shiva's Guard from Super was being put towards a Hex instead. Because if they Hex down any of the cores on the IG side, they just die. They have absolutely no counterplay. Wind Ranger is also buying a disc. How's the Leshrax Aeon disc going? He's not getting anywhere close. He's a position 5 Lesh. So back to farm stations for a little bit. Both teams have everything off cooldown, so the only big thing that we're kind of waiting for would be a big item pickup. So it looks like IG probably waiting around for the Shivas on their Ember before they make another go. Are we close to any super impactful levels? We got a couple of level 20s coming up soon. Bloodseeker is going to have his, both of which pretty decent options, and the PA, what does she have? 20% lifesteal or 20 triple strike stifling dagger. So it's also a little bit of a power spike on that side. And yeah, Now is just trying to cobble together his level 15. Oh no, creep cut stolen by Baboka. Lordy. But yeah, he's just trying to get up to that GPM talent, I would guess. There's actually a lot of extra armor that and a lot of extra mitigation that IG have just gained. Picking up the Vlads, so they're gonna get the bonus from that, and they've also picked up the Shivas. So no, obviously the Shivas armor is only affecting XSS, but the minus attack speed also going to be helpful. And Super has not quite decided what his next item is going to be here. Only has the 1k gold to his name. Inflame, as yeah, already looped I've wrapped all the way back around about talking about these items. Both are just farming their side of the map. This is really interesting, given that most of the time you'll see like Radiant in control of this area and Dire in control of this area. But it actually, at the moment, feels like Dire are just farming the Dire side of the map, and Radiant are just farming the Radiant side of the map, and nobody is really crossing the river. Baboka, alright. Aeon Disc, and now he's going to be going for MKB. I think the Disc is a little bit more useful on the Wind Ranger than it is on the Leshrac, because at least if Wind Ranger gets jumped and the Aeon Disc pops, she has a chance of getting a shackle shot off, or maybe she can even wind run and then get a blink away, something like that. IG with a bit of a sneaky smoke. They wanted to make 100% sure that this was not scouted, hiding in the trees, standing on their sentries. Roshan is still at least another 40 seconds away, and they're going to come running forward. They're scanning ahead of themselves as LFY are all just playing grouped up as 5, way behind their tower. Not risking anything. They've got the Lina in Shadowblade hiding around the corner, waiting to break the smoke and retreat. Yeah, they're playing this super safe, and looks like nothing is going to end up coming of this smoke gank. As mentioned earlier, quite an important game for both of these two teams. IG, if they win this, they're one step closer to securing the #1 spot in the group. They are already guaranteed through into the playoff stage here for the TI8 China qualifiers. But it's always, that seeding is potentially going to be quite important for them in terms of their TI hopes. So they're taking this seriously, and LFY, as mentioned, in the top 4 at the moment, but it's tenuous. And they have the 2, at the moment, best teams in the group to play up against in IG and FTD to round out their group stage. So definitely a very important match for them as well. Yeah, is going to be going back for the Abyssal Blade now. Has already picked up the Skull Basher. So a couple of lucky bashes could be a big deal in a couple of these fights. It looks like LFY have decided that it's their turn to go for a smoke. Super just pushing out bottom. There is a potential fight getting reared up for here. Babuk goes running forward. They don't have Ember, but he's with them in spirit. I think he probably has a Remnant. Where was this Remnant, actually? Probably has a Remnant somewhere nearby. Oh. Invis on Invis. Super's not going to be able to find him. Alright, Super getting spooked a little bit. Just going to head back to his team. All of these lanes have been shoved in pretty far by IG, though, so they've created a really nice opportunity. It was LFY who got the free Roshan earlier, and it looks like it might actually just be IG who gets the free Roshan this time around. LFY letting them push them all the way back to their tier 2s. They don't have any vision out on the map. Pretty big investment from IG and a bunch of sentries just to secure the map control, but it works out beautifully. And now they have themselves an Aegis on the Ember Spirit, and more than likely a Cheese on the Bloodseeker. But maybe LFY can find an unexpected initiation. I think that's what they're hoping for. IG shove mid, switch over to top. It's certainly the much harder tower for LFY to defend. Like, look at these Radiant tier 2s. They're just so garbage. You have to come up a hill to defend your own building. It really does not feel great. You're coming up a hill through a choke point to defend your own tier 2. I guess the Dire do have it a little bit on this bottom tier 2, but yeah, that's not an easy defense. Q is going to have his disc soon. I guess they're mostly just playing for this Inflame Hex, but I don't think this Hex is nearly as good coming from the Mirana as it would be from the Lina. But we shall see. I guess everybody has Invis. They do have the Moonlight Shadow. Level 25 talent for Inflame. Gonna go for a little bit of extra damage. Grabs the 25 mana break since he does mostly have a right-click build. And Baboka trying to finish off this tier 2 tower all by himself. Not willing to use the Focus Fire for it though. And also leaving it outside of the range. Definitely wants to secure that gold for his team a little bit later on. XX is now going to be going back to the BKB, but once he has this, I think he's actually going to be able to man up in fights. Just go blinking in, pop the BKB, he can kill the 2 supports completely uncontested. Might even be able to get up in the Mirana's face somewhat, but this is going to be the game changer. This Hex is not yet revealed on Inflame. I might suspect what he's building. I don't know what they saw in his inventory a little earlier. Okay, well now they know. It's some creeps there. That's still. IG not really with any great ways to counterplay it. Two supports of both bot on disc and the Force Staff or Slimmer Cape or anything like that. Oh, down bottom. Super getting going. Unwilling to put the BKB, but alright. Is the BKB actually going to save him? Looks like he'll be fine. It speeds up a little bit, but that's all that comes with that. What is that? That's a 9-second BKB from Super being forced out by excess. Oh no. LFY really just in a little lot. I suppose they just want to wait out the Aegis if they can and keep on farming on the PA. They really are not controlling very much of the map, so the net worth is just plummeting. As IG are claiming bouncer after bouncer, and they're taking camp after camp, and look at X. It's just crazy. He goes, he does get immediately hex, and he gets bursted down. Maybe he did not see the hex. And now they might be able to arrow him on the way up. Very beautifully timed. XXS just immediately did that. Completely suicided there. Ian was not in the kind of position to help him out. He would be able to TP out. I'm a bit surprised. Why did he not get goals? Was he out of vision? Anyway, Super must not have been in range. Or didn't realize that he was TPing. But huge throw from Ember Spirit as he gives away the Aegis, he gives away his own life. He could have had that Hex so much earlier if the Lina had been the one to buy it. But still, things looking up for LFY. Monet really coming into his own in terms of damage output. And gee, what is the plan here? SRF is going for an Qualifier. Shoving out bottom lane, aggressive, pushing out top. This last pick, Bloodseeker, has turned out to be a little bit less impressive than I think IG were hoping that it would be. Really hasn't been involved heavily in these fights. And I don't really feel like he's been, other than that fight where he ruptured Super and kept him out of the fight, I don't think he's been too much of a thorn in LFY outside, which is not what you're hoping for from a late core pick in the draft. Okay. No, I mean, he wants the courier, but he may have bitten off a little bit more than he can shoot here. To get the blink point, didn't use it, and now Infinite is there with the Hex, completely winning the game right now for his team.
Thank you.
And I'd be kind of scrambling a little bit. We've also got another smoke from LF4. They're just trying to wait for people looking for more. Super's the one to lead the charge. And this observer board catches a glimpse of the Leshrac over in the jungle, so they're just going to make a beeline straight towards him. It's like you suspecting that something might be amiss is just going to go retreating back to the base. The reason that they're suspicious is that they've just killed two heroes and nobody pushed mid. Like, why is nobody shoving the lane towards our base? Why is nobody going to push out bottom? Why is nothing happening on that? And it's with good reason. There's a game running straight towards them. Alright. LFY turn to grab these bouncy runes and turn around the net worth lead a little bit. Brewmaster has picked up a gem has been donated to him by Q. I think that's probably telling his team that he does not want to fight until he gets his level 25 and he picks up his BKB, which I think is a pretty sensible call. And IG still some pretty long duration BKBs to work with here, so I think they just need to be proactive about it. Don't risk anything. Pop a BKB in fog and then go running in. Don't give LFY any opportunity to hack you and boost you down. Super has spent some Bosch. What's he grabbed? Alright, Super has a full Daedalus. The PA appears to pretty much have the Abyssal Blade as well. Oh man. So much more damage in lockdown. And I don't know, the items from IG feel super impactful. There is an AC on the Bloodseeker. I think it can do quite a bit of work. Brewmaster is sitting on a tidy pile of gold, and IG XS also sitting on quite a lot of money here, and really translating into an item. This is a super dangerous smoke. They see the backwards power shot. May have. Oh, they scan. They know Mirana's over here. Yeah, it was a double scan. They know that somebody's up the hill. Waiting for him to come down the bow. Can he get the shackle? Tries for the shackle off with a creep. And it does nothing. Alright, retreat. Go get 25 on Ember, go get his BK. Yeah, I don't think you guys want to be here right now. Very, very tentative Dota. That's the kind of game it is. If you engage incorrectly into a fight, both of these teams have plenty of catch. Everybody that gets into a fight pretty much at this stage of the game is stuck there. You're not really going to disengage all that easily. You're either going to get Rupture, you got Ember chasing you, or there's a Wind Ranger running after you. Oh no, XXS, there's the stun. Super, can he finish? Does he have the right click damage? He's got more than enough. XXS down. And LFY lineup starting to look better and better as we go. I was worried about their triple squishy cores, but they didn't really get punished for it. Those fights that they won, killing off the Brewmaster before he was able to get the primal split off, really put them in great stead. And now Inflame, he's completed a Mjolnir for some more lane shove. And he's now going to be going back for a link as they jump in onto Q. Does have the Andis to help protect him. Boboka, they're focusing. They're looking for both of these kills at the same time. This might be a little bit greedy, but Q. They've also slept up the Wind Ranger. I'm wrong. They've definitely made a call here. Yeah, both of the two supports. XXS is still dead for another 55 seconds. And LFI hoping to keep those top 4 hopes alive. Move in towards the Invictus game. There's still a tier 1 tower standing over at bottom, but they are just straight up onto the high ground, working onto the tier 3. 3 heroes dead, no buybacks on either of the 2 supports. They are a significant portion of the D push for IG. And look at these 2 heroes, they don't even want to get anywhere close. They're afraid of the stop, they're afraid of the triple leap forward into a Hex. And LFI are just going to clamp 3 lane of Rex. Oh man. Roshan gonna be up in 30 seconds, so IG will at least have all of their heroes ready to be able to fight. Is shredding this shrine. Renee gonna be picking up a BKB, not BKB, MKB for too long. They already had the BKB for a little bit. And XXS now with a BKB of its own is going to be going for a Hex. They've got the Nullifier on the Brewmaster. Alright, so if they can just get in on top of a target, they do definitely have the damage and the lockdown to be able to kill them off. And not being able to use your BKB is definitely going to be a bit of a hindrance for these LFY heroes. The burst damage is still there. They just make sure that they get the right initiation. Kind of what this Jan is supposed to be on the Brewmaster. Some LFY planting these sneaky high ground wards are actually still maintaining some vision control. Both teams. Roshan is the prize for whoever wins this fight. Up on the high ground, we're going to ward plant to death. They see it. Monet going to go for the D-ward quickly. They could be getting forced out. He's already in Rupture. They can't afford to block in Q here. Monet stuck on the low ground, separated from his team. Q's going to be the first casualty of this fight. They've already got the first, so they hex him up, and that's the straight up double kill. They blood rage Monet, but they're going to regret that one. But both right click down at 6 try to focus on the Witch Dog. He can't even get that kill. Super pushes him back with the super right clicks. And Aggressive still just can't even commit into this fight as the Bloodseeker. Super just has to time this right. A couple of auto attacks bring in XXS. He's dead. They're out of Aether's catch. Like he said, commit into a 5-on-5 in this game. Nobody is leaving. And IG, that's it. They're going to tap out LFY after a super rocky early game. They get some great team coordination. Item decision from Inflame. Well, that Hex did so much work. The Ember just jumped in, died once to the Hex, died a second time to the arrow. The team couldn't do anything, and that was by far the biggest swing in this game. So